So, dear friends, let us go to study about that, the hemichordata. Hemichordata. So, you know, we have already studied in the phylum Chordata. Chordata has been divided into two main subphylums, you can say. One is protochordate and then the vertebrates or the higher forms. Protochord means primitive chorda presents. Those animals have got the primitive chorda, so they are called the protochordates. And vertebrates means you might be knowing that the craniata, cranium having most of the animals come under that. Vertebrates and the agnatha and the gnathostomata. So that is the difference. So let us go to the protochordates. In protochordate, so here you can say, let us go to the first. Actually there are the three, the protochordates. The first one is the hemichordata, urochordate and the cephalochordate. The first we shall go for the hemichordate. So you know the term itself indicates that the hemi means half, you can say. Hemi means half. Half of the body has got the string or the notochord. Half of the body you can say. So notochord is present only in the half part of the body. Means suppose if it is the current body considered, only in the anterior region that is presence of the notochord, and that indicates that the hemichordates. What are the hemichordates? The notochord is present in the anterior region of the partly, or you can say half of the body is called the hemichordates. So here actually let us go to the general characters. General characters. So what are the general characters here? The first you can say that is, these are the most primitive forms. These are the exclusively marine forms. Exclusively marine forms and soft-bodied animals. They are called the soft-bodied animals. Marine, you can say these are the marine and soft-bodied. Soft-bodied animals. So you can say. So the soft-bodied animals means their tissue is not tough. We can say they don't have any the bony structure at all. The tissue is also reduced, and as a result of the body is very soft, and they are exclusively marine forms. They are the exclusively marine forms. And if you compare to the body layers of the body, and these are the triploblastic. These are triploblastic. You know very well, triploblastic and bilaterally symmetrical. Bilaterally symmetrical. So this is the symmetry. So the triploblastic means you know very well three layers. Ectoderm, endoderm and the mesoderm, and bilaterally symmetrical. That is the indicates the symmetry. So symmetrical means two lateral system. And the body may be segmented, metamerically segmentation, may or may not be segmented. So usually most of the segmentation, if it is not clearly seen, then sometimes you can say there is the body is differentiated into the 3 or 4 regions like that way. The head, or you can say the proboscis, collar, or the trunk, or the body like that way. The body is divided. So that is also called as the metamerically segmented. If the segmentation is not clearly but well developed, segmentation is not clear, but sometimes we are able to say that the segmented body you can say. So the next you can say here, when you come across that, the general characters again. So these are solitary forms. These are the solitary forms. You know very well, solitary or colonial. Colonial forms you can say. Forms means animals. Remember, solitary as well as colonial. Solitary as well as colonial. Solitary means, no, you know, the term itself indicates that the solid or the single structure. Single. Either it will be single living animals or the in the group. So they are the colonial forms. They are the colonial or the solitary. And one more important characteristic feature of these animals are antrocoelous. Antrocoelous. They are the anterocoelous. What is the anterocoelous? Anterocoelous means you know very well that. Anterocoelous means the body is having a coelom, a clearly developed coelom or cavity you can say. Body cavity. Body is having a cavity or the coelom, anterocoelous. And as a result of this, or due to presence of this anterocoelous or the coelom, the body is divisible into 3, as I told you the segmentation. So body is divided into 3. One is you can say that is the proboscis, the animal here, you can say, and this is set together remaining the part, the anterior part of the body shows that the proboscis, and here that is the neck region, or you can say the collar-like structure here, that is, and it is continued part but differentiated into collar-like, and here you can say remaining the body like this. So such type of the animal is set to be the body is differentiated into three regions. Proboscis means the front or the head region, but you remember here head is not clearly developed here, but you can see that the anterior part of the portion is called the head, and that is called the proboscis, and the middle part, or you can say there is a connection between the trunk and the proboscis is called the collar, and collar, and the remaining part is called the trunk or the body part. So this is the body is divisible into three regions or three portions. One is proboscis, collar, as well as the trunk. And usually these are, as I told, these are the marine and the soft bodied animals. So generally they are termed as the worm. Actually the marine soft bodied worm like body, worm like body. So these are tube living or burrow living. So these are animals are very soft, and these are able to live in the tubes, or you can say burrowed in the marine, or you can say the marine in the sandy nature, sandy area. So exclusively marine. So they make some tube-like structure, and in that tube they are able to show that they are living, so the dwelling tube, living place or the living. And usually when you come across, these are the general main important characters, and apart from these, when you come across the other characters, you can say respiration. Better say that the respiration. I am not going to. So respiration. So respiration means here there is a series of, or you can say several paired gill clefts. You can say respiratory organs. You can see these are called gill clefts. Gill clefts. You can say. Gill clefts. The respiratory organs are the gill clefts. Either they may be 5 or more than 5. They are situated just below the collar region on either side. So they are directly open, and these opening structures are called the respiratory organs or the gill clefts. These are the main. So these are the. This is also one of the characteristic feature of protochordata animal. Gill clefts is also one of the characteristic feature of protochordata. And digestion, you can say digestive system. Digestion or digestive system. Digestive system is divided into, or you can say complete digestive system. You can say that is the complete digestive system. Means you know very well, mouth on the anterior side, and anus on the posterior side. So due to the opening anterior and the posterior, so here you can say opening here, and this is the both opening, and you can say this is the mouth and this is the anus. So due to presence of mouth and the anus, then you can say digestive system is simple as well as complete. You can say digestive system is simple as well as the complete. And what about the circulatory system? Circulatory system is, you know very well, if there is no well developed heart, or you can say distinct or the clear well developed heart, so usually this shows the circulatory system is open type, simple and the open type. You know very well that. What is the open type? Open type means there is no definite blood vessels, or the blood flows in an open area of the space, a large opening or the space is called the lacunae, in which blood shows the flowing or the flow, and there is no any blood vessels. So there is the open type. If there is a blood vessel and blood flows in a particular system or the blood vessel or the blood capillaries, then you can say there is the closed type. But here the circulatory system is open type due to presence of that the large open space of the lacunae. And you can say that is one more important characteristic feature here, the skeletal system of the skeleton or the notochord. We could say the skeletal system. Skeletal system is absent, you can say, but instead of that you can say that is a notochord, presence of notochord, you can say. As I told in the beginning, notochord, and this notochord is present only half of the body. That is present in the half of the body. Anterior region, from anterior it runs backward. So the notochord is present only in the anterior region, and because of this reason, these are termed as hemichordata. As I told in the beginning, hemi means half. The notochord is present half of the body, so that is nothing but it acts as just like a skeletal system. It gives the shape, a definite shape to the body. Actually, most of these are worm. Actually, they are called the worm, soft-bodied worm-like animals. So, notochord is present only half of the body. So, they are termed as hemichordata. So, in the recent years, once what we have studied in the previous class, it has been studied under the protochordata, but recently it has been studied in different ways or the different phylum. Before going to phylum or the, it is different or the separate study, but not necessary, remember. But notochord, due to presence of notochord, they have called it the hemichordates. And the one more, so nervous system. Nervous system. So what is the nervous system here? Nervous system is as compared to previous forms, or you can say that it is the beginning of the well developed invertebrates compared to invertebrates, well developed, but in the chordates, so it is beginning. So here what happens, nervous system is developed with having the ventral and the anterior or the dorsal, you can say. Better say the dorsal and ventral nerve cord, or you can say ventral and the dorsal nerve cord. So that gives the some just like a ladder type, not clearly ladder type, the elongated, the structure that is the nervous system. So next, the nervous system, you can see that is reproductive system or reproduction. So sexes are separate here. Here sexes are separate, and the here you can say as a whole, both male and the female are separate. And when you come across the development, either it may be direct or indirect. Development may be direct or indirect. So if it is the direct, you can say there is no larval stage, and if there is the indirect, means indirect, the name of the larva is Tornaria. What is the name of the larva? Is Tornaria. You can say name of the larva is Tornaria. So just to remember, the general characters, hemichordates are termed as half of the body has got the notochord, and due to presence of notochord in the half region, so they are called the hemichordates. These are the exclusively marine, soft-bodied, worm-like structures living in the tubes, sandy tubes. So they are called the worms, and they are triploblastic, bilaterally symmetrical, and metamerically segmented also. And the habitat means, as I told, these are the soft-bodied living in the tubes, and they are the solitary or the colonial. They may be living in the single or the in the colony or the group. So, and they shows a peculiar phenomena of the system, that is called the enterocellus. Enterocellus means body is having the cavity, body cavity, and due to presence of this body cavity, the animal is divided into three regions or three portions. One, first you can say the proboscis, collar as well the trunk. Proboscis means anterior region, middle short connection or the bridge, collar region, and remaining part is called the trunk or the body part. And as I told, they are the tubed limb, no doubt, sandy in nature. And respiration, exclusively marine form means aquatic forms, and the respiratory organs are gill clefts. This is a characteristic feature of the protochordata, gill clefts, remember. So the respiratory organs are the gill clefts, either they may be paired up to 5 or more than 5. And the next you can say that the digestive system. If you come across the digestive system here, digestive system is complete. It starts from mouth to anus. Circulatory system, open type, simple as well the open type, and notochord means due to presence of notochord, it gives the definite shape to the body. It works as just like a skeletal system. And nervous system is well developed, and that shows the two double nerve cords, one the dorsal and the ventral. It runs from anterior to the posterior side. And the reproduction means the sexes are separate here, and development is direct on the indirect. And so here the development indirect, the larval stage is called the Tornaria. The larva is called the Tornaria. Let us go to the classification. The classification hemichordata has been divided into two main classes, you can say that is. And the first one you can say that is the entero class, you can say. Anteronusta. So these are also termed as the acorn. They are termed as acorn worms of the tube dwelling, sandy. They are living in the sand. So they are the tube dwelling of the acorns. They are also termed as the acorn. Their body is very soft and coelomate body, and they are living in the burrow, or you can say the sand, tube dwelling animals. So they are most of the worms come under that one. So here the typical example you can see, that is the Balanoglossus. Balanoglossus. So this is the typical example. Class 1. And second one is second class, you can see that is here. That second class is said to be as the Pterobranchia. That is called the Pterobranchia. Ptero means, here you can say Pterobranchia. Pterobranchia. These are termed as, you can say, these are the ciliary feeding animals. Actually, these are also nothing but these are also living in the tubes, but this shows the ciliary feed. Ciliary feed means when it is the here burrow and they creates the wave or the vibration in the water, a continuous waves in the water, and that helps like this here. Whatever the debris or the prey will come inside, and that will be filter mechanism or the ciliary feeding. By means of cilia, they take the food inside and they filter in the proboscis, or you can say the buccal cavity. So you can see there is the Pterobranchia. These are called the Pterobranchia. So these are the ciliary animals. And here there are the two orders. Actually, they are studied under the two orders. One is, you can say, that is Cephalodiscus, you can say, or Cephalodicta, you can say. Order that Cephalodisca. That is what is the here. Cephalodisca. One minute. That is the Cephalodiscida, that is, yes, Discida. Cephalodiscida. This is the order, and example here, Cephalodiscus, that is. Cephalodiscus. This is the typical example. And one more order. You can say one more order. That is said to be as Rhabdopleurida, that is. Rhabdopleura, that is a Rhabdopleura. Rhabdopleura. This is a typical example. You can say that is the Rhabdopleuridia. Here I will write that example. This one. Sorry. Rhabdopleuridia. Pleuridia. So typical example. So just remember here, the Hemichordata is divided into three main classes like this way here. Sorry, two main classes. One is Anteronusta, this one. The first one is the Anteronusta, and there is no any orders here. There is the directly you can see the Balanoglossus, elongated worm structure. There is the Balanoglossus. This is the example here. And the second class you can say here, this is the Pterobranchia. And here there are the two orders. One is Cephalodiscida, and this is the example here. You can say Cephalodiscus. This is the example, Cephalodiscus. This one, and the second order you can say Rhabdopleura, and the example you can say here Rhabdopleuridia. So this is the classification of Hemichordates.